Nursultan Abishuli Nazarbayev, the first president of Kazakhstan. He was born on July 6, 1940, in the Kemolgan village near Almaty, Kazakhstan, which was then part of the Soviet Union. He attended a technical school in Dneprodzerzhinsk, now Kamyanske, Ukraine, and later studied at the Karaganda Polytechnic Institute, focusing on metallurgical engineering. In 1984, Nazarbayev became the Prime Minister of the Kazakh SSR, and after some time in 1989, he was appointed as the first secretary of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan. When Kazakhstan declared independence from the Soviet Union in December 1991, Nazarbayev became the country's first president. Although he maintained stability and economic growth, his rule was marked by allegations of authoritarianism, including suppression of political opposition, media control, and human rights abuses. Lee Kuan Yew was born on September 16, 1923, in Singapore, which was then part of the Straits Settlements under British colonial rule. He was educated at Raffles Institution and Raffles College in Singapore. During World War II, he experienced the Japanese occupation of Singapore. After the war, he went to England and studied law at Fitzwilliam College, Cambridge, where he graduated with top honors. In 1954, Lee co-founded the People's Action Party, PAP, with a group of fellow English-educated Singaporeans. The PAP aimed to achieve self-governance for Singapore and improve the lives of its citizens. Lee Kuan Yew implemented policies that transformed Singapore into a global economic powerhouse. His government emphasized industrialization, trade, and investment. He attracted multinational corporations to Singapore and developed a highly skilled workforce. Nursultan Nazarbayev, like Lee Kuan Yew, aimed to establish a strong national identity and foster economic growth through charismatic leadership and nation-building. Nazarbayev's leadership style was deeply rooted in personal charisma and the creation of a national narrative that positioned him as the father of the nation. Isaacs, 2010. This approach was instrumental in consolidating power and promoting stability in post-Soviet Kazakhstan. While Lee Kuan Yew also employed charismatic leadership, his focus was on building robust institutions and a meritocratic government that prioritized efficiency and corruption-free administration. The tragic events in Zhanaozen in 2011, where police opened fire on protesting oil workers, resulting in 16 deaths and over 100 injuries, highlight the harsh measures used to quell dissent. Isaacs, 2010. This contrasts sharply with Lee Kuan Yew's approach, which, despite being authoritarian, focused on legal reforms and institutional development to ensure political stability and economic prosperity. Nursultan Nazarbayev prioritized economic reforms, believing a strong economy was essential for democracy. He stated, "I put economic reforms at the forefront of modernization because I was sure that the development of democracy would be more successful if the priorities were clearly set. First, the economy, then politics." O'Neill and Primiano, 2023. Corruption remained significant in Kazakhstan, ranking 113th out of 180 countries in the 2019 Corruption Perceptions Index by Transparency International. Lee Kuan Yew's anti-corruption measures helped Singapore consistently rank high in international transparency and governance ratings. Transparency International, 2010. Political freedoms in Kazakhstan were limited, scoring 23 out of 100 in the 2019 Freedom House ranking, Freedom House 2019. In contrast, despite strict political control, Lee Kuan Yew established a stable political system in Singapore with high living standards and low corruption. Nursultan Nazarbayev and Lee Kuan Yew Both aim to foster national identity and economic growth through charismatic leadership, but their outcomes diverged significantly. Nazarbayev focused on personal charisma and consolidating power, often suppressing political opposition and committing human rights violations, as seen in the Janarozan incident of 2011. While Nazarbayev prioritized economic reforms, Kazakhstan remained dependent on natural resources and struggled with corruption, unlike Singapore under Lee Kuan Yew. Lee's governance emphasized building strong institutions, meritocracy, and minimizing corruption, leading to significant political stability and economic prosperity. Despite some similarities in their approaches, Nazarbayev did not achieve the same success as Lee Kuan Yew. Kazakhstan's lower levels of political freedoms, higher corruption, and less diversified economy underscore the differences in their leadership outcomes. Thus, Nazarbayev has not become the second Lee Kuan Yew,